You don't need any special magic and complex methods to make a bunch of money. Everything you need is very boring and simple systems that you work on every single day, and that's what actually scales your agency. And we're gonna cover all of this step by step with proof. This video is extremely valuable because it's gonna show you a real world example on how to scale and what it takes. So this video actually isn't about me, and it's not about any of my coaching clients. It's actually about a person that watches my videos for free, follows advice, and takes action. Nothing special. My name is Renato, I own TechFusion.com. We help OnlyFans agencies grow their revenue 10 times faster. If you're interested how, you can take a look at some of the reviews here on the screen. And this review is actually from Ricardo, the guy we're gonna talk about in this video. So meet Ricardo. This video is about him. He first contacted me in October last year when I was just starting out with my channel. He got into the OFM industry in July 2024, and that's also when I first started uploading videos. So his journey started like any other. He had his first model in August. In September, she broke up with her boyfriend. He sent me the screenshots of his earnings and asked me what I think about them. These were his earnings right here. And I basically just told him, great progress, Ricardo, from 2.8k in August to 3k in just the first week of November. Great work, I hope you hit 10k this month. Just keep on taking action and doubling down on what works best. And of course, as you can see, he did go on to hit 10k in November, and I already made 3k in just the first week of it. And when he first contacted me, he was just making a couple $1,000s and wanted to scale to that 10k mark. I gave him some advice, and 2 to 3 weeks later, he proudly told me that he scaled his model to 10k. I congratulated him, that was it. Now, we didn't speak for 8 months, and then a couple of months ago, he contacted me again with the following message. Now, these messages are pretty long. I'm not gonna read them for you. If you want, you can stop the video and read them one by one. But what he basically did was he gave me some insights, he asked me some questions and problems about TikTok, etc. Now, the most important part I got from these messages was that he has a model with a 70k Instagram account, and he didn't mention anything about it or what he plans to do with it. Now, the problem that most agencies have is usually one out of two problems. But most of the time they don't know which problem they have, so I'm gonna help you identify which one you have, and then I'll tell you how we fix it for Ricardo. So whenever I look at an OFM agency that is struggling, I always first try to figure out if they have a lack of attention problem or a technical problem. And what I mean by that is, they're either not focusing on the things that they should be, or something is not allowing them to focus on the things that they should. The reason you're not growing as fast as you want right now is probably because you're trying to fix a problem that might not actually exist. Now that I've mentioned that, let's take a look at the voice message that I sent him that gave him guidance, actionable steps, and that provided him with clarity on what to focus on so he can make a bunch of money. My number one tip for you, what I would do in your situation. You said, wait, let me find it. You said you signed a new model that has 70k followers on Instagram. Fuck your TikTok stuff. Fuck trying to get everything sorted. Do the stuff you can. If she has 70k followers, she's doing good on IG. It's better to invest your time where the grass is already green, right? If she has a thriving Instagram, focus on that rather than creating TikTok accounts from scratch. Start focusing on more input. So that means more videos, better content. Help her. And by the way, you probably even don't know what makes good content, but it's much better to learn what makes good content than to try to figure out TikTok. Invest your time into understanding what makes good content. Use common factor analysis. Analyze why her most viral videos are viral or have more views, right? See her best performing videos and try to recreate them. Focus on the steps that it takes to get more views, create better content, then start uploading 1 to 2 reels a day. Start running 5 trial reels. I have a video on that on my channel. Better focus on the Instagram. It's gonna make you 10 times more money than trying to focus on TikTok while it's fucking you in the ass everywhere. That's my advice to you. Focus on what's already working. There we go, a very raw and direct message from me. So after we just listened to my voice message, he just said, Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Then 2 months later, he came back with the results. Let's see what happened. So 2 months later, on August 27th, he wrote to me the following. Hey Renato, just wanted to let you know that I've already bought TickFusion and I've started using trial reels too. One of the girls that we're working with already grew by 12k followers in just a month. I'm only now going full speed with trial reels, but I wanted to give you some feedback. None of this would have happened without you. We also had our first video hit 600k views. I'm still finding it a bit tricky to figure out the patterns of what works, but I'm definitely getting better at it. I blocked the countries where she had most of her audience, so Iran, Iraq, and a few others, and although the views dropped from 4 million to 2.8 million, our US audience went from 5% to 13.4%, so we're definitely growing. Now with TickFusion, I'm sure I'll be able to speed things up even more. I'm going to share trial reels across all accounts and also post more reels in bulk on other pages. And he also shared a screenshot of his model. Of course, I hit her name, right, her profile picture, but she had 80k followers at that point. Now this was my response. I'm very glad to hear from you, Ricardo. You've done a great job so far. Just 12 hours after you sent me her profile, she grew by another 200 followers and she's at 80.1k now. You will keep improving at knowing what works and creating better content. It's a skill and you just keep on improving it until you become amazing at it. Great job on blocking the countries because you went from 4 million and at 5%, which is 200 USA views, 200k USA views, and 2.8 million views at 13.4% USA audience is 375k USA views, which is almost a 2x increase in USA views. Always remember, it's not about just going viral, it's about going viral towards the right audience. And I think this is a really important lesson for everybody watching this video. You shouldn't just focus on views, right? Block the tier 3 countries, focus for USA, focus for tier 1. And even if your views drop by double, you're gonna have this effect. In the end, he doubled his USA views. That's the thing you're aiming for. You don't just want to double your views, you want to double the important views, the views that actually make money. And regarding TickFusion, you can scale so much with it. If you ever need help, blah, 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 hit up the support team. I love hearing from you and seeing your progress. Now, what worked for him? Let's analyze it. First, it was signing the right model. You remember earlier where he had the model last year where she didn't record any content for 2 months because she broke up with her boyfriend, caused issues, blah, blah, blah. Now he has the right model that he can scale. What also worked was focusing on creating more and better content. So recreating her viral content, scaling it to multiple pages with TickFusion, right? Using TickFusion to scale, trial reels, blocking tier 3 countries. That means less views but more good views. I think the takeaway is this. Most people run around like headless chickens. They just exist and let the wind carry them like a feather. But when you know what you have to focus on, it's very, very easy to achieve it. Ricardo realized if I get more quality views on my Instagram, more people know about my model. And that means attention. I get more attention, I get more money. Very simple, right? Very simple. And so what he did to achieve all of this. Now let's cover what kind of content did his model make. What kind of content did they double down on? I'm sure all of you are wondering this. So most videos are her just posing in front of a mirror and playing with her feet, cosplaying, being in stockings, fishnets, wearing wigs, etc. She always has great lighting. By the way, of course, I'm not going to show her content. I don't want to leak his model. She always has great lighting, sometimes LED lights, and very important, very, very great thumbnails. They're very amazing. So in previous thumbnails, when I was looking at his profile in the past, it would sometimes just be her face in the thumbnail and nothing special. But in the video, she would show her feet. How is a person that likes feet going to know that you show your feet in that video? You have to place the most important hook and frame as the thumbnail. And so now all of his thumbnails are her feet showing. You can see she has a wig on, she's cosplaying, Her feet are sometimes oiled, she's wearing fishnets, she's in a skirt, blah, blah, blah. Great thumbnails. And why I think that works is you know exactly what you get in every video. You're just doubling down on your brand, you keep showing feet, and when your followers see your name or your video on their screen, they know exactly what they're about to watch because every single video is the same, and I think there's beauty in that. Now, their most viral videos, they just kept on repurposing with TikFusion and uploading as trial reels. That also got them a lot of reach. And right now they're growing very, very fast. Just a few days ago, when he sent me a screenshot of her account, it was at, I think, 128K. And then just about a week after, when I'm making this video, the account is at 135K now. So he's growing it very, very quick. Now for the final update and some important notes. You can see the review here that he left me unprompted, I didn't ask him. So just 2 months later, he was making 2K, now he's making 38K. You can see this beautiful review that you can read. He said he went from 80K followers to 226K followers. Yeah, so in a week she went to 135. They grew another account to 50K, 2 more at 12K, another at 18K. By the way, I checked, this 50K account is at like 57K now. And even more of a USA audience, blah, 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 said some extra stuff, but he's at 38K now. And so in short, the account is currently making 38K and growing. He's also starting to scale to multiple accounts, currently has 5. He described their followers here, but they just keep on growing. Most of them are 10 to 50K followers. And every time I check them, they always have a few extra thousand of followers. And what I really think got Ricardo a long way was, first of all, taking action and not being afraid to make mistakes. He just did it. He took action. He makes a mistake. He doesn't do it again. He learns. He is willing to learn and improve. Unapologetically. He just keeps on doing it. Doesn't think about perfection. I'm just going to put so much action into this until it works. And look at what that got him a year later. And really important, being polite and respecting other people's time. I don't respond to most messages I get. And if I do, it's a very short answer because people very often are just rude. They want free info from me. In our first messages, Ricardo was always very polite. He reaches out to me. He compliments my videos. He says, answer me when you have the time. I don't answer him for like 5 days. And then I give him advice and he still respects it. Sometimes I get people like, if I don't answer them for 4 hours and I don't owe you anything, I don't even have to respond to your message. If I don't respond for 4 hours, they send me like a dot or a bump message. Or, hey bro, why aren't you responding? Be patient, be polite, respect other people's time. And so I don't think that anything he did was very special or hard in a way. He just focused on the right things and invested his time into those things every single day. And the winning just keeps on compounding and he just keeps on making more and more money. And you can do the same thing. You yourself are the only thing stopping you from making more money. And I'm sure in a month or two he's going to be at 50K and just even more and more. He is scaling like a rocket. Every time I check his accounts, more followers, more views, more attention, more people going to the funnel, more people subscribing to the OnlyFans page, more chatting, more money. You can do the same thing. I hope this story motivates you.